You're listening to the Exponential Entrepreneur Podcast. This is the podcast for ambitious entrepreneurs who understand that exponential business growth isn't achieved through traditional business tactics alone, but through personal development, the ultimate leverage point to scale businesses beyond conventional limits. Hosted by Erika Ferenczi, featuring lessons from the Practical, Profitable Mindset program, created by R. John Robbins, Alejandra Leibovich, Erika, and Oscar Ferenczi. And here's your host, Erika Ferenczi.
The power of intentional choices. Today, we're diving into something that will fundamentally change how you approach your goals, which is how to turn your priorities into actionable plans. In other episodes, we focused on identifying what your priorities are. Right now, we are going to turn them into actionable plans. So here's the truth. Knowing your priorities is not enough. This week, we are going to learn how to implement them, and we're going to start by choosing no more than 3 at a time. In this episode, you will hear me discuss things and lessons like people don't actually choose their destinies, but people do make choices today, and those choices dictate their future and their destinies. Number 2, making good choices requires self-awareness way more than intelligence. Awareness is the capacity to know where you are, how you feel, and what you want at every moment, and have that clarity to be able to make clear choices every time something happens. We will also discuss how to identify what those 3 priorities are and then put them in the calendar, making sure that there's a block of time so you can actually do what you say that it's important. I want you to be brutally honest. If those things that you say are important to you don't fit in the schedule, they are really not your priorities. So ask yourself, what priorities am I choosing this day? And are those priorities in alignment with the future that I want to be living? Am I, as a person, in alignment? Is there anything that I need to change about how I go about my life? We will also, during the episode, talk about how to track process, how to use calendar entries, how to use visual reminders. Whatever works, we're just going to track a lot of it. So, are you ready for alignment and action? Let's watch. Last week, what did we do last week? Last week, we talked about, we spent really the whole week looking at what are your priorities. What are the things that you say that are important to you? And then trying to get you to do those things that you said that were important, at least for a week. And most of you had a lot of breakthroughs during that moment. Some of you didn't know what you want. You just don't know what you want. Some of you coming up with what you want is really easy. Some of you came up with such a long list that now you're overwhelmed because I want so many things. I'm not really sure how to prioritize. So we discovered some people are choosing way too many things. Some people are not being specific enough. Some of you want something. However, it's really difficult for you prioritizing doing those things. And in some cases, some of you, we were talking about at the Q&A, that while you prepare or take a lot of responsibility for prioritizing properly on areas like, for example, your job or a part of your job, right? If you have a list of 20 priorities or things that are important for you, then this week you will have to boil it down to, in my opinion, no more than 3. Especially if you're not doing them yet. Because what we're going to do this week is we're going to create a plan so you can prioritize those things. But you can't prioritize 10 new things or 6 new things. You need to start by 1 or 2, maybe 3, if they're in different areas of your life, okay? So hopefully You already have your priorities. This week is all about creating the plan that is going to help you implement those priorities. And it's about doing what you said you would do. In other words, walking the talk, or put your money and your time and your attention where your mouth is, or be aligned, be in integrity, be impeccable with your word. Very important. That is what this week is about. I am huge on, I love quotes. And this particular quote really has, I just love it. There's a lot that I love, but this one particular says, people don't choose their destinies. People don't choose their destinies. You can't control your destiny. You can't dictate your destiny just by dictating it. But people do make their choices. People do make choices. And choices will dictate your future and your destiny. You don't dictate your destiny or your future, but you dictate your choices. And your choices will create your future. You are the collection of what you do. I'm sorry to break it to you, because for some of you, this will be uncomfortable. You can't evade this truth. You are the collection of what you choose. And your areas of life, your financials, your personal relationships, your parenting relationships if you have children, your health, your spirituality, your fun and enjoyment, your professional development, your spiritual development, each area of your life is showing you the choices that you're making. So if there is any area of your life with which you are dissatisfied with, take a time to reflect on what choices are you making around that particular area of your life. The only thing that separates human beings from the rest of living forms in the planet, animals, microorganisms, plants, the only thing that separates human beings from other forms of life in the planet is that we as human beings are the only ones who have the power to choose. However, you can't choose if you don't apply awareness. If you don't lay back for a few minutes and you start becoming aware of your experience. You are your choices. Your life is a reflection of your choices. Your life is going to be at the end of your life, because we're all going to get to the end of our lives at some point. There's no way around it. At the end of your life is going to be the sum or the addition of your years, which is the addition of your months, which is the sum of your weeks, which is the sum of your days, which is going to be the sum of your hours, which is going to be the sum of your minutes. Life is a never-ending cycle of choices. Never-ending cycle of choices that we are making at any given minute. The problem is that we're running so fast, and we're surviving so much, and we're so focused on the to do, that there is no space in your calendar to stand back and reflect on those choices. And the more out of alignment that you are between what you say and what you do, the more dissatisfied you're going to be. The more frustrated you're going to be, the more dissatisfied, the less at peace with yourself you are going to be. So, what is awareness? Awareness is the capacity to achieve knowledge, clarity of knowledge around knowledge or perception around a situation or a fact. Your ability to achieve knowledge, clarity, or perception around a situation or a fact. You know, when I was some years ago, when I was looking into this whole thing of awareness, I stumbled on a Korn Ferry study done with the top 500 public traded companies in the stock market. And they were able to find a correlation with this company's financial results with the level of self-awareness of their employees, which is dramatically higher than companies that are performing purely on the stock market. Isn't it fascinating? As a whole, companies who develop a culture and promote self-awareness within their community or team perform financially superior to those who don't. Is a self-awareness, the personal development, and the mindset work that puts rocket fuel into the whole thing. I don't think it's possible to control your IQ level. You can't expand. You can expand your knowledge, but not your IQ level. However, you can expand your level of awareness. Now, it is a symptom of the society in which we live that most people out there in the world outside of the bubble would choose to be smarter. Because this world is basically the communication that we get is about more technology, more entrepreneurship, more wealth, right? So you need to be smart to succeed in those areas. But your awareness can definitely increase. Now, the problem is that the smarter you are, look at this, the smarter you are, the higher your IQ is, the more you will think that you're always right. And when you think that you're always right and the rest of the world are a bunch of schmucks, then what happens is that you start learning and believing your own bullshit. And you diminish your level of self-awareness. And you shoot yourself on the foot. Because you start living unconsciously, driven by your habits, your beliefs, your ideas, social pressure, peer group pressure, or simply by a definition of the world that you created for yourself because you believe that that's the only thing that matters. So self-awareness is really, really important. What I am here to ask you today is to be intentional with your life. Make a commitment to start increasing your level of awareness and be intentional with your week and your life. And it will start by you identifying those 3 priorities and either put them in the freaking schedule so they get done, or take them out and let's decide that they are not a priority. It's fine if we're trying to put them on the schedule, but they don't fit because what we're really saying is I have other priorities, which is fine as long as you're aware and in alignment with what you truly, truly want. And when you do that, when you're thinking about your priorities, I would like you to stop an extra minute and ask yourself, what do the priorities that I'm choosing today say about the future that I want to live? I'm going to choose my 3 priorities. You are going to choose your 3 priorities, or 4, hopefully 2 or 3 for now, because we can't change everything at the same time. And then I'm going to step back and reflect. I'm going to try to put them in the calendar. If they don't fit in the calendar, then that's not really a priority. And it's okay as long as you're aware of it and make a choice, an aware choice. And once you look at your calendar and everything is there, then you ask yourself, what are these priorities that I am choosing today saying to me about the kind of future that I want to live? So what are the effects 10 years from now? Not today, not tomorrow. Let's think about, if I am choosing this, what am I really truly saying about my future? The only thing I'm asking is to be clear, honest, even blunt about the future that you're choosing. So, what future is waiting for you based on the choices that you're making today? And what actions do you need to take on a consistent basis to make sure that you're consciously designing your life? And start doing it. You had the whole week last week to witness when you said that something was important, but you yet didn't do it. Now, this week is time to create a plan of action and get them done. From all the things that you discovered last week that you said they were important for you, this week we're going to create a plan to get them done, but not all of them, especially for those of you that identified a lot of them, just 3. We need a plan to get those 3 in the calendar. So you're going to identify the priorities. You're going to put them in your calendar, so you are going to get them done. If when you prioritize, you see your calendar and you say, well, this thing is real, I say it's really important, but it doesn't fit in the calendar, then in reality, what you're saying is it's not really that important. And now you're going to have to come to face with the fact that you're misaligned. And one of the things needs to go out of the calendar because it does not fit. Yes, the difference between creating a plan of action and differentiating from a to-do list. A to-do list is, I need to send an email to Tom, I need to meet with Sally, I need to go to the laundry, are things that need to be done today, hopefully today or this week. A plan is, I am going to exercise for 30 minutes at 9 a.m. 3 times a week. I am going to not check my email from this time to this time every single day of this week. Instead, I am going to focus on X, Y, and Z. A plan is, let's say that I wanted to lose weight. A plan is, I am going to drink 1 gallon of water every single day before 7 p.m. And obviously, guys, when you create a plan, and that's why I'm only asking you to take 3 priorities, you need to track it. You need to track that is happening. One way of tracking it is because you put it in your calendar. And another way of tracking is you just put a freaking, piece of paper in front of you and you track it every day. It needs to be in front of your face because you're changing your habits. This episode was all about creating the plan that will help you implement those priorities. It is in doing what you said you would do. In other words, it is in walking the talk or putting your money and your time and your attention where your mouth is that you become aligned. You feel in integrity. You become impeccable with your word. This is the thing. We do not change our destinies. You can't control your destiny. But we do make choices, and those choices will dictate your future and your destiny. So please be aware and be intentional with the choices you make today. The results that you have in your life right now are nothing but the collection of your past choices. I want to invite you to look at some areas of your life. Maybe your financials, your personal relationships, your parenting, your health. Each one of those areas is now showing you the choices that you've made in the past. Do you like what you see? Perfect. Keep doing what works. Do you not like what you see? Well, it's time to change. Change your choices so you can have a different future. I want more than anything to remind you that you are a creator. Your most important power is your power to choose. I want to invite you to exercise that more often and more consciously. Stop making choices by default. May you muster the determination and the courage to align your choices with what you want in your future. And stop worrying about what people think or say or might think or might say about you today. Those people don't pay your bills. They don't sleep in your bed. They don't parent your children. They are not living your life. Your life is yours. Take control of it. As a reminder, your life is a reflection of your choices. Your life is nothing but an addition of your years, which is the addition of your months, which is the addition of your weeks, which is the sum of your days, the sum of your hours, which is going to be the sum of your minutes. Make your minutes count. We are so excited that you're listening to this podcast because that means that you have made the commitment to start increasing your level of awareness and your intentionality. And that is how a person changes their destiny. And that's exactly what we do here at the Exponential Entrepreneur Podcast. It's your turn to take action. For now, stay healthy, stay hungry, and stay focused. We will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Exponential Entrepreneur Podcast. We encourage you to take action on it today. Share what you've learned with another entrepreneur. Sign up for our newsletter to get bonus content you won't get anywhere else at exponentialentrepreneur.com and subscribe to the Exponential Entrepreneur Podcast to receive the next episode. Until next time, keep breaking through limiting beliefs and growing exponentially.